Welcome, everyone, to the February Lumio Ambassador-led webinar. I am your host, Tisha Poncio. I'm the Global Community Manager, and I see so many of you in the chat joining us today from so many different places across the world. While we're getting started, make sure you tell us where you're tuning in from, tell us what your role in education is, and if you want to connect with other ambassadors and users across the world, please pop in your social media handle so that you can all follow each other after this webinar. A couple of housekeeping bits before I bring up our special guest today. Make sure you are following all of the Lumio and Smart Technology social media channels. I will pop all of those links into the chat for you so you don't have to go find those. Also, remember, you can take screenshots. We'd love for you to take screenshots of our presenter and her shares on Lumio today. Post those to your social accounts. Tag all of us and just show what you're learning or show something that's really impactful. And at the very end of the session, you know I'm going to give you that survey link so that you can get your certificate of credit for being here and show evidence of your learning. And so without further ado, I'm going to bring up our special ambassador, Maheen. Welcome. Welcome to the February Ambassador-led webinar. How are you?
Thank you very much, Tisha, for such a warm welcome. It was amazing. It is amazing. I'm actually excited.
We are so honored to have you. And I want to share, those of you that are watching, Maheen really stood out. She submitted her Lumio certified trainer video, and it really stood out to our team. And we wanted to share her brilliance and her experience and expertise with you. As a fellow ambassador, she has so much to share and give to you today in a very short manner. We're going to do a quick bite-sized webinar today, but I kind of want to tell you a little bit about Maheen because she's brilliant. Her qualifications are in mechanical engineering. And so that tells you a whole lot right there about who she is and what she's about. But she spent over a decade in the classroom with experience in education. She's previously taught science and math together, but most recently, she's mainly focusing on maths. So she's really excited to share with you what she's done in Lumio and how that could apply to you. Remember, anything that our ambassadors are sharing, even though it may look like they are presenting from an elementary or secondary level, or they may be presenting from a particular subject matter, so maths, ELA, music, remember all of those strategies actually are transferable to your grade level and your content area. So I want you to keep that in mind as you are listening to this. But Maheen wants to share with you something that I thought was really great. As we all know, you all are very tired. Probably all of the time. You're putting a lot of time, effort, and energy into your students. And one of the things Maheen shared with me is that she swims and she does self-affirmations as she's swimming. Yeah. So tell us a little bit more about your what you love to do. What do you love doing with your students, Maheen? Give us a little bit of a Maheen intro before we get started.
Thank you very much, Tisha. Actually, the thing is swimming and doing self-affirmations, it gives a very positive energy for the students, especially because we need quite a lot of patience while dealing with students, with the repeated questioning and, dealing with such, mindset. We need to have very strong personality. So it helps me a lot with that. And the classroom management is a very, stronger when you are mentally strong. So you can control the class very, with your full strength. And along with that, with the help of technology and with since the beginning of this academic year, Smart and Lumio has actually brought my teaching to the next level. I really am very confident about it. I can confidently say.
Yes, yes. Well, without further ado, I'm going to let you share your screen. We're going to get started. I'm going to be here with you muted. I'm going to be in the chat. So all of you watching, if you aren't engaged in Maheen's lesson, remember that you have the chat. You can ask questions and you will get this recording after. So if you have to leave for any reason or you've missed any bits of it, you will be able to come back. You will receive that recording. So I am going to let you take it, Maheen.
All right, let's get started. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the webinar. My name is Maheen, Mehmood Ali. I join you today with dual hats on. I'm a maths teacher in International School of Creative Science in UAE, and I'm an EdTech specialist with a background in mechanical engineering and over 10 years of experience in education. I work with teachers internationally to transform how mathematical thinking is seen, shared, and valued in the classrooms. Through Lumio and Smart, as I just said, my work bridges pedagogy and technology, empowering educators to move beyond answers and make students' reasoning, misconceptions, and ideas visible, creating maths classrooms where every learner's thinking truly matters, truly counts. So like many of you, I work daily with the textbooks, worksheets, and the copybooks, but my passion lies in how we can use technology to breathe life into these pages. Today, we aren't just looking at a software demo, we are exploring a pedagogical shift. Our goal is to see how Lumio facilitates high impact interactive maths instruction across all key stages. I will try to cover all of them so that whoever is attending this session at the moment can get the benefit out of it. Being teachers, we want to ensure that no student's thinking remains hidden and that every misconception is caught and turned into a powerful learning opportunity. In today's webinar, we will go through 3-stage learning journey. We'll start by an idea of how to give students the space to think, move into environments where they can collaborate, and finish by providing tools they need to reflect on their mathematical growth. I will be sharing my code now so that you all can interact with the session. There will be a link in the chat box that you can join in. I'm sharing the QR code on my screen as well. So could you please join in to make this session interactive and engaging? And I hope that you will be getting lots of learning at the end of the session. Meanwhile, the audience join the session. I will be leaving whoever has got in the session. I won't waste your time. I would like you to do this quick word search of today's 3 phases: think, collaborate, and reflect. So that meanwhile the others are joining in, you can just make the most out of this session.
Maheen, I'm going to ask a question. Do you find that when you're working with students that you give them a little bit of a brain break as you are bringing them all together for whole class instruction? Is that something that you're doing? Because I notice this is a math session, but you gave me a fun word search, and I love this because words are easier for me than numbers. So tell me your strategy on that.
It is actually strengthening their vocabulary skills, because sometimes students are struggling with the mathematical vocabulary that we need to instill in their, the ongoing process of learning and mathematical, skills, because some students are struggling with the vocabulary. That's why they are not able to apply it in their, reasoning and how they are expressing their, explanation while they are doing critical thinking type of questions.
And I was just noticing in the chat, Jamie Lynn loves being able to play games from the student side. So I love that you've let us all be students. I was thinking the word search actually gave me confidence as your student, because again, I'm confident with words, right? So starting out confidently with a math lesson actually is really a brilliant idea.
Yeah, truly. So as audience join in, I believe that is they have enjoyed it enough. So I will be just moving on to the next slide. That is quick, diving into the how, because I want to hear from them. They should see, all of you guys, you should see a shouted out on your screens. This is an activity that will give me a quick response. What do you expect to learn in this webinar today? So this will help me in keeping an eye on these, specific expectations to make sure we hit your high priority interests as we move through our 3 phases: think, collaborate, and reflect. Let me know, what do you expect to learn in today's webinar about Lumio, or about how to make thinking visible, new ways to deliver math concepts to students, how to use Lumio quickly for math strategies and student success. You are gonna be gonna be really happy at the end of the session. New ideas for integrating Lumio into classes, getting new ideas for using Lumio to engage students in their math lessons. Lovely, lovely responses. Thank you very much. How
Look
to
at
design
the engagement, Maheen. You've got so many good students here.
Oh, yes. They are actually very responsive.
I know. Look at you. I love this.
You are asking in the class how many students will raise hand and how many students you can get the feedback from,
Right.
What are their expectations at the beginning of the lesson.
I also think it's really interesting how you have positioned to shout it out right after the game. So the game sort of makes them comfortable in the lesson, right? They're sort of a bit relaxed, but they don't know that you're teaching them the terms, like we've said in the chat. Now you're giving a shout it out. And for students who don't feel confident in math, I think that it's a safe place to put their answers, right? A safe place to have thinking or questions. So this is a really great strategy on how you've ordered these together.
It actually really helps, and it is actually, everyone is so much engaged into putting their thinking on the screen that actually keeps all the silent students wake up in the lesson, and they are coming up with the different ideas what they are that they shared with the rest of the class. I will be quickly taking you to a tour of how does a teacher create these activities. This is the resource area of Lumio. If you would like, I can reshare it at the end once you will go through my different activities. For now, I want you to reveal the label and get yourself familiar with how does the resource section of the Lumio look like. So there are game-based activities that I have included in my session today. There are graphic organizers that help me out in collecting your responses. I have used few manipulatives as well. Shout it out you just experienced in the previous slide. So just I'm giving you a quick check of how I have created this session before I even start.
I have a question, and since I'm the host, I feel like I can ask you this question. But I'm wondering, because my content area was ELA and CTE, so career and technology, I'm interested from your perspective as a math expert. Which activities do you find yourself gravitating to most in your math classroom? Because I know for ELA, when I'm looking at this screen particularly, I would be picking out certain activities, certain ready-made sources, certain templates that really speak to the ELA classroom. But do you find that you only, you have your top 3 favorites? What are those?
Game-based activities, Tisha, because this is actually because attention grasping, gamified, strategies, the quizzes, that is actually give you a feel of as if the student playing a game, but at the same time they're answering the questions that they have learned, or to review their prior knowledge as well.
Sure.
To retrieve what they know already. So gamified, game-based activities is the top most. And in the game-based activities, there are several further, types of games that that we can just include in our lessons for an interaction. Yeah.
Sure. Okay.
Let's move on. So in maths, we often unintentionally rush students to calculate before they have even observed. We are using the See, Think, Wonder routine here on the screen to slow down the cognitive process. This routine allows quiet students to participate and gives the teacher instant insight into the prior knowledge. Look at this image, a Penrose triangle. an impossible object that looks like a 3D triangle but cannot exist in three-dimensional space. So I will be, you can see that it's a screen, a slide in front of you. I will be, during my session, I will be keeping in mind the number of participants that is equivalent to the number of students almost. I will be making it as a whole class whiteboard so that every person can come up with their ideas in the different sections of the describing triangle in front of you. First, just tell me what you see. You may use adjectives to describe it, only the facts, what you see. Okay, all right. I will just lock it at one place so that it will not move. Yeah.
Oh, this is a great strategy.
Yeah. Now, what do you think is happening mathematically? Okay, so just go step by step. I really like that somebody is actually adding the images into it, look-alike Penrose triangles into it. Finally, what does it make you wonder? So we need to go step by step. A pretty triangle, pink, circle divided into thirds, color spectrum similar to Mobius strip. That sounds interesting. It overlaps itself. There's a small white equilateral triangle in center. Very nice. What do some of you wonder? What does it look like from another angle? Are there any breaks? Where might I see this in the real world? Is it a four-dimensional object? That's a good question. See a colorful optical illusion.
Okay, Maheen, I'm really impressed with our attendees today. Look at these really thoughtful responses. I love this. I'm learning so much from our attendees as well.
Yeah. So by using Lumio for this, I can see every single person's thoughts simultaneously, isn't it, Tisha? Using whole class whiteboard option, I have used a describing triangle template over here from graphic organizers. So to be honest, how many of you try to jump straight to wonder before listing what you see? You can type it in the chat box. If you are not into the Lumio lesson, you can just,
just chat with us in the chat box and we'll pop your answer up. What's interesting, Maheen, normally as an ADHD learner, I would have done that. I would have went to wonder because you said, do see, think, wonder, but I actually stayed with the see.
Yeah.
What do I see?
That's what I'm saying. So what is it? If we had done this by raising hands instead of using Lumio, Tisha, how many students would I have heard from? How many did we hear from just now? Look at the screen. So it's, it is 100% of voices. I would believe that everyone is excited to, participate.
So Maheen, Jamie Lynn has a question, and it is a fantastic question. She says, can you see who posts what in case someone posts something inappropriate? This is one of the deterrents for her when using whiteboards lately.
Yeah. So what we can do is over here, we have got a number of participants over here. Here, the details are given. Can you see that? I clicked on the comment here. I will click on the drop-down menu and it says the name of the person here. You can delete it, you can copy, and then you paste it. There are a lot of options in the drop-down menu over here. Is it clear? Yeah. Can you see I'm doing the same?
Yes, they love that. Yeah. They said it's really helpful.
Yeah.
And Jamie Lynn actually says,
remove the student as well. You can remove the student as well if you feel that they are not listening to you, they are not behaving, and they are, sometimes the students get so much, uninterested that they just scribble on the screen. So you can right away see that who is doing it, and you can just remove them from the activity.
It's a good classroom management strategy, and also teaching them digital citizenship.
Yes. Notice what I just did. I didn't tell you the answer. I didn't lecture. I let your thinking drive the lesson, isn't it? This is the power of making thinking visible, Tisha. Now let's see how to, check. Let's have a quick check using one of my favorite game-based activity, that is the monster quiz. So let me see that how many answers you can, get correct. So with the help of Monster Quiz, we can collaborate. We can create different groups. It's taking a few
I know I was
seconds.
going to say it's putting us in groups, right, with the monster quiz,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it is taking a little bit longer.
yeah. I will just
Very okay.
reload it. That's fine because I think the number of, yeah, here you go.
That
All
worked.
right. I will divide these students into group of in four groups. All right, and it will be automatically done. I can personalize, I can customize it. If I want to move a student from one group to another, I can just move them around, because as per the classroom seating arrangement, I can just divide these groups into the different arrangement as well. Let's start.
I love how you're testing our thinking from the previous slide, Maheen.
Ah, yeah, yeah, yeah. So I'm just utilizing the different options over here that I use in my class to get the most out of the quick checks after every, part of the lesson, so that I'm not just leading the lesson. It is actually students led. I'm giving them the authority, the autonomy, so that they can, retrieve, recall whatever they have learned in the previous sessions. Here you go. Let's see. The winning team is the Snow Blinders. Congratulations. So you can just go through and review the how much they have got correct, and one student got disconnected. I hope they will get back soon. You can export the results out here. This is the class review. Yeah.
Maheen, we have one question from Shannon, just about the activity with the graphic organizer on the previous slides. Can you disable the toolbar for students?
The toolbar, I'm not clear about that, what you're asking
so,
about.
when we were on the graphic organizer and you made it a whole class whiteboard, it opened up that toolbar on the left-hand side, right? So,
the toolbar is for you to add in your thoughts. You can add text, you can add images and shapes. This is what do you mean?
Yes, I was going to say, I think, Shannon, what I would do if I was in the classroom and I didn't want the students using the toolbar, I wouldn't put it in a whole class whiteboard activity.
Yes.
You could actually, my strategy would be maybe putting it in an individual student handout so that they aren't seeing each other.
Yeah. There are quite a lot of options out here. I will show you on my screen. There is an individual handout option. This is a group workspace that I will be using in another activity. And there is a whole class whiteboard out here. This is what we just used. So if you don't want to use that, and there are other two options as an individual and group workspace as well. So before we dive into the math, I want to start with this powerful image. Students have to Maslow before they can bloom. We all know that pyramid of higher order thinking, isn't it? We want our students at the top, creating, evaluating, and analyzing. But Maslow's hierarchy reminds us that if a student doesn't feel safe or confident, they can't reach those higher cognitive levels. In a math classroom, safety isn't just physical, it's emotional. Abstract algebra often triggers fear, which drops a student right down to the bottom of Maslow's pyramid. Our job is to create a safe entry point so that they can climb up to bloom. Let me show you how visual scaffolding does exactly that. Let me share my next screen. Now we move to collaborate. This is actually a bridge between the different key stages. I have used the grouped up option out here. So I will be making teams. Again, it will be like.
We have another question. You've got such a great audience, Maheen, today. They have great questions. Elizabeth wants to know, how do you preview responses before they're posted?
there is an option. We can just disable it, that this should be approved by the teacher first, and then they can appear on the screen. So we can disable that as well. Before we plan, during the planning, we can do these settings so that we are not getting the inappropriate responses, so that we need to delete. All right, so let's look at this activity on completing the perfect square using the algebra tiles. I have set this up as a group workspace. You have a bank of infinite cloner tiles on the left. For many students, seeing an equation like x squared plus 4x plus 4 is intimidating. It's just abstract symbols, isn't it? But look at the visual model on the left. We replace the scary symbols with physical shapes. The green square is x squared, the yellow rectangles are x, the red squares are ones. We show them that x squared plus 4x plus 4 literally arranges into a perfect square with side lengths of x plus 2. Suddenly, the math isn't a trick, it's just geometry. We have satisfied the need for safety and understanding. So you can see the infinite cloner tiles on the left of your screen. So you need to turn this expression into a perfect square. This has been done already. I have done this as a sample. So you can just go through it, that how you are arranging these tiles, expressing, turning this expression into a perfect square. So the longer length of the rectangle is equivalent to one side, to the side of the square, and the shorter side of the rectangle is equivalent to the cube, the square that has got written 1 on it. So this is actually activating the cognitive abilities of the students, so that how they can visualize algebra rather than just solving it on the piece of paper. So team 1 is just sending hearts.
Okay, that's fun. I mean, it is February. It's the month of love.
Yes. So you can.
That's an interesting activity, Maheen.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to tell you. This puzzle overwhelms me, but I think what I like about it is doing it with a group, so that it's not just up to my thinking, right?
Yeah. That's why, Tisha, I have attached the waggle, what a good one looks like, so that if you are, stuck in it, so you can just go through what the teacher has just explained it on the left, take help from it, and then you can think of how I can create the perfect square puzzle over here. By the way, I'm not here to teach anybody maths, so you can just explore it by yourself. This is the algebra tiles resource that you can use with your students. Otherwise, if I will start being a maths teacher, the session will go too long, Tisha. So we are adding, all right, so there is a challenge. You can see that there are differentiated questions. What would the next expression in the sequence be? So you can just have a guess. I'm glad that people are trying. Teachers are, I hope that you are having fun solving algebraic expressions, the quadratic equations. I did that while creating it.
I think I needed you to be my teacher. I might have math PTSD. It didn't seem fun, but I love that it's so fun in Lumio. And I love also that my group is fun. We're also doing hearts and different pictures over here.
So can you see that instead of arts, I'm not asking the students to draw the rectangles and a square, but they are actually building up with the tiles over there. So building the tiles using the parts of the quadratic equation is actually math going with the thinking process. We are seeing that how it is actually work. How does it work actually? As I look at your screens, I can see some of you have 6 X tiles all in one row. Does that help you form a square? How do we need to split those X tiles to keep the shape symmetrical? So that team 4 is going very well. I really, appreciate that they're actually working, and team 1 has just left 1 heart for me. I really feel that. All right, I think you have had enough of algebra now. So, okay, this activity that you see on my screen now, it's another gamified activity. I will be just going through it quickly. It's a speed up, a gamified quiz. You can do it on your screen. You can do it on individual devices as well. So it depends on you. If some of the students have not brought the devices, you can call them on the smart board, and the rest of them will be doing on their screens individually. So you can be individual and you can choose one, or you can do the think, pair, share, and choose make a group of two. In pairs, you can work. You can work in more than two students at the same time. Is it taking time to load? Could not load. Okay, let
No,
me. Yeah.
I'm in. I think it's working.
Yeah. That's fine. Perfect. So I will not just stay here for long. If there are just quite a quick, this is just for a quick check how much you have understood from the algebraic tiles in the previous activity.
So as you guys are playing, I just want to remind you, Maheen is an ambassador and she would love to connect with you. I'm actually going to put her LinkedIn profile in the chat so that you can connect with her after this webinar, if you are on LinkedIn. And then I believe we're also going to try to get them the teacher link. Is that correct, Maheen?
Yes, please. Go ahead, and I'm sharing the whole session with you, so you can just utilize these, because I can see I was just engrossed into reading the chats. So people are actually enjoying it, and I'm sharing the same list session with you, so you can just modify it as per your needs. So
yes. So I put both. I put Maheen's LinkedIn URL there, and then right underneath that is her teacher file, the file that you have been engaged with during this webinar. She has graciously shared that with us, and I believe you can make a copy of that, and you can go in and shift that around. And then we also want to share with you today's survey and certificate link. So I'm going to pop that in the chat as well. And then I'm going to hand it back over, Maheen.
Your time is not being wasted, guys.
Let me grab that, because I actually shared, I think the universe wants your teacher link to be shared twice, because that's what happened. I shared it twice. Let's see if this one goes correctly. There we go. So you will get the survey and certificate link here. That is the last link I've shared. That teacher link that Maheen graciously shared with all of us is also in the chat, and you want to connect with her on LinkedIn. And then we also want to talk about, Maheen, do you mind sharing a little bit about being an ambassador and sort of what you get from being part of that group, and why somebody might want to become an ambassador?
Yeah, sure. Actually, being an ambassador gave me the authority, the confidence of sharing and showing what I have been practicing in my classrooms, because other than the formal observations or the drop-ins, nobody knows what I'm doing in the classroom. That I want to show that what are the best practices I am doing in my classroom. And being an ambassador, that gave me an opportunity to deliver the PD sessions, to train the teachers as I'm here, because I'm an ambassador. So that is a very great opportunity for me, because I have been actually looking forward to it, that how I can share my practices with the international teachers out here, sitting in here. So yeah.
The other thing I have popped in the chat is the Lumio Educators Facebook group. And now you may not be aware that there is a Facebook group, but if you want to be part of that group as well, anybody can join. Make sure you are filling out the questions that are asked when you join that group, and then you will get approval. Maheen, is there anything else you want to share from your slide deck before we end this webinar for everyone?
All right, I was just going through it. I will be just saying bite-sized statements about it, that Desmos calculator very great news for the secondary teachers, the colleagues who are here. The FET Colorado, everything is built in actually in Lumio. You don't need to toggle between the tabs in the classroom. It is actually built in Lumio. That is a great help, I would say. And there is another super sort activity that you can just include in your lessons. Before I leave, I just want to, leave you with a poll that will be collecting your responses. So to wrap up our session today, we move into our final phase, reflect. We have explored the think, collaborate, and reflect cycle through think, see, think, and wonder, our algebraic art gallery, and the different gamified, activities that we did. And now it's the time to reflect, the last part of the session. So let me know, how did you find, how confident do you feel making thinking visible in your next math lesson using Lumio? Even if there are other than maths teachers, you can just find a variety of things on Lumio that you can incorporate. Look at that data moving in real time. This is exactly what we want to see in our classrooms, yeah? Instant feedback that help us teachers, being teachers, to understand where our students are. So please go ahead, challenge yourself, try a whole class whiteboard. I don't remember who asked me for, removing the students or removing the inappropriate comments. So that I have shown you, that you can do that. Challenge yourself and go ahead with that. Shout it out activity and other gamified activities. So meanwhile, you are just coming up with the feedback and reflect. As we close today's session, I want to leave you with one final thought. We often talk about engagement, but engagement starts with thinking, because when thinking is visible, learning becomes intentional. Thank you for joining me today and for being willing to make your thinking visible. I look forward to seeing how you transform your math lessons. Today, my call to action for you is simple and practical. Within the next week, identify one moment during your maths lesson, not at the end, but while learning is happening and where students currently comply. Try and redesign one Lumio activity that makes a student thinking visible. Capture a screenshot of a student thinking in action. This could be any Lumio activity, collaborative board, multiple strategies in a handout, or student responses that surprised you. Share one screenshot or reflection and tag Lumio with what the student's thinking revealed, how it changed your instructional decisions. Thank you very much for joining in for today's session. Over to you, Tisha.
Thank you, Maheen, so much. What an inspiring session. And it just takes a second to look in the chat and also at all of the answers in that Lumio activity. You had all of us engaged. Even those of us that maybe aren't so good at math. So many people are saying thank you. Again, you all remember to connect with Maheen. Her LinkedIn link is there. You can find her on LinkedIn. You can also find her in the ambassador platform. So if you're not an ambassador, reach out. We want you to be part of that community and connect with Maheen more about math and Lumio. And we're just so thankful for you all joining us. Shelly says thank you as well. So many people are sending you so much love, Maheen. Thank you for sharing. I know it's very late where you are. And so I just want to say a special thank you from our team for taking time out of your evening to share with all of us here today. You guys be ready for March's ambassador led session. We have another great group of people sharing with you for March. So we will see you again very soon. Bye for now.